So CreateStudio isn't only about 3D characters and other animated characters. They have a lot going on in this app. Watch this. There's a whole series of these. I'll show you some of those. Then there's other ways that we can add different effects. For instance, with this one, I do have a couple characters because I do like the characters, but this is just a background. Now, oh, you know what? I did write it on there so that I would remember what it was. It is called Beach Night. So you can go to Studio, and if you put in Beach Night, it's probably 2 words. You've got different beach nights, and I wanted the one with the fire. And so what I did, this is what beach night looks like. And you can see that there's nothing happening with that. So I added a little bit of a flame and some sparks so that it would kind of have a little bit of motion going on. And I added a sound effect. So let me show you where those are. If you go to your studio and you go under effects, here you are going to find a bunch of different things. Here are the fires. So this is the one that I used, and what I did with that one was I sized it to that image, but I also really lowered the opacity because if it's too high, I don't think that looks good. So I played with the opacity a little bit. Where was I? I think it was 24. Let's see what it looks like at 40. So you can just play around with it. Maybe that would work, but I don't know. I think you see the flame too much, but you just play around with it and see what you want. And it can just add a little something to what you are animating. And then the sparks are in another section. Let me show you where those are. But then right before we do that, I just went in to see about sound effects. So your sound effects are here under music, right here. And I just put in fire. And then there were a bunch of them. This is fireworks. So you can just listen to them and see what might fit what you want. And for some of the other things I'll show you, there's things like bomb sounds if you want the explosions. There's all different sounds that you can add, and it just adds a little something to your videos. So we have fire, we have tons of smoke, we have explosions, we have electric. This could be a transition, maybe. It might be a little too fast, but there's a bunch of those here. The one that I think goes with that too is some of the energy ones. So you can use any of these. And I like the line elements. The ones that I tend to use a lot are these right down here, the liquid lines. I like some of those to add. I think I did one right after this. Let's see. Just a little boof. But you can just add them to add different effects to what you're doing. And then there's motion shapes. All of these different kinds. I like this one as well. I've used that. And then different transitions, water transitions, shapes, just liquid-like. Now, where else do we have them? So here, those were all those effects. And then if you scroll down again, there's more visual effects. And this is where you're going to find different things for space. I've used the shooting star, and I had rotated it when I did a Christmas video. So I just took this and I just rotated it and it followed Santa off the screen. Clearly, I wouldn't have it over a character and it was further up, but you get the idea. It was to end up there. So you can play around with those. And then they have different planets, different auroras. We have sports. So you have some spinning balls. You have other things like a glitch or a countdown. Some of these sparkles. Oh, this is where I had found for the, right here, I also added, it doesn't even look like they're really showing though. I did the Sparks 3. So I had just added a little bit of like the embers were flying off there. And that was one of these Sparks 3. We have to hunt them down, but they're in here as well. And then you have different fruits. You also have weather and fireworks, different transitions that you can do. Fire. You have glass breaks. So I could make this, oh, I don't have it downloaded. You could make that, you could make the seam break. I should have downloaded one of those. Maybe I will after, but I want to show you where the ground breaks are. And this is what I used in the first seam. And I added a sound effect, as you can tell, a boom. But this one right here is that ground break. This one is breaking the wall. So let me turn that off, and then you'll see that it will just affect the ground. If I want just the, am I on the right one? Yep. Here, I mean, he's still falling because I animated him to do that. But you have tons of different options in here, so you could have some real fun with that. So there's that, and this was just that I had to mask my little character so that he would fall when the ground broke. So let me show that. So now he's falling down. So I just wanted you to see that they have all of these very cool effects and overlays that you can add, a lot of light leaks as well, that you can add to your videos to make them pop. Have fun. And don't forget to add the sound effects to them, and then it really makes a difference.